what's one piece of advice you can give employers out there about lifting up the underrepresented groups in their organizations?
I would give many advices, not only one. Lately we've seen this wave of the big resignation with George's movement that started in the USA. We've seen more jobs in diversity, equity, and inclusion than ever. But actually, it has not started yesterday or 2 years ago or just because the pandemic. The discrimination has always been there in certain societies, in certain circumstances, even back in my country. Discrimination against women or discrimination against pregnant women. Yeah. So there are all sorts of discrimination. What I would give one piece of advice, I believe in the power of mentoring. If I look back, Catherine, in 20 years of working in corporations have money. They invest in mentoring programs. I was one of the privileged one. However, I realized why, given all the mentors, the great people I worked with and supported, I still faced discrimination in many ways and forms. Yeah, why? And I realized mentoring within a company is biased somehow. Yes. So I believe in mentoring it from a non-biased mentoring program. I truly believe in that. All my mentees, they tell me, Anna, it's the best thing I've ever done to reach out to you. So this is something like a very fresh testimony of how important mentoring is outside of the company, because the company provides with mentors which are biased or who are biased. Yeah. So this is one piece of advice, and I strongly believe that mentoring happens before hiring. Before you hire someone, and this is what this is my vision with Green Apple's career, to partner early on and to have amazing partnerships, to provide mentoring to talented professionals right before they get hired or they get promoted. I believe mentoring is very late, is provided by company very later, in the stage. So this is what I believe in, the power of non-biased mentoring. I believe diversity, equity, and inclusion should sit outside of HR. HR and diversity and inclusion department should create that healthy challenge. Diversity, equity, and inclusion should challenge the organization, the HR, the board on inclusive recruitment policies, on non-discriminatory performance management practices, on better and more transparent pipeline of talent. So, and this is not happening. Everything I see is like HR, diversity and inclusion vacancy as part of the HR. This is wrong.
That's a great point. I hadn't thought about it before. I, obviously see DEI positions under HR a lot, but that's a fair point that if you have a CHRO, you probably need a CDEIO.
Yes.
Because that person's role is to be kind of an outlier in order to push the organization to think differently and all of that, and needs to be right there with the CEO at that C-suite table versus reporting up to HR, who may or may not totally get it. And, that makes sense. I hadn't thought about that before, but that makes perfect sense.